rest, ye mateys. Today be Wednesday the 26th, and today we be having a treat. For today we have a new ship to be sailing. Arr, behind me, there be a 2026 Skidoo Summit X that Skidoo thought nicely of the captain enough to let him have a new ship to sail for the day. So today we be taking her out and putting her through her paces. We be looking for a little white gold, a little booty, eh? Searching for some treasure. But we be riding a brand new ship with new sails, eh? We be finding out what Skidoo's got in store for us for 2026. For the captain himself, the good old pirate be looking at getting a new ship himself, possibly this summer. Arr! Today we be heading up in the mountains. It'd be a beautiful day. It'd be sunny and white fluffy skies. Look at them big beautiful clouds up there in those lovely blue skies. Word has it that there's been rain, that it's been warm, that the snow has been trashed. Aye, but we think it's not the truth. We think there be liars. We think they be misleading you and telling you that the snow is no good. Arr, we be going up to the mountains to find out. The captain and you, your favorite pirate, will go and find out firsthand if the snow will be good, if it be worth coming to West Yellowstone or driving to Island Park and going sledding or not. Arr, we see you on top of the mountain. So as we get ready to start our ride, we're just pulling out here into the Big Springs. Big open meadow there at the beginning. I wanted to show you guys what the mountain, the range up on top of Black Canyon looks like. So that is the top of the caldera. And I wanted to pull in and let you guys see there is at least some fresh snow up there. Don't know what we're going to find when we get up later on, but for now you can see that it is not all green up on top. That first ridge is quite a bit lower than the second ridge, and the second ridge is where we're going to go ride today. And I see fresh snow. And more than anything else, that's usually what you guys want to know from me. Is there good snow to be had? And I think this morning the answer is yes, and that's back over there towards Two Top. I don't think we'll get that far today, but as you can see, there is fresh snow up on top of the mountains at the 8,000 foot level. All right, we have made it to the warm-up meadow. It's our normal first stop on the way going up the mountain. And I want to show you what the snow looks like, because more than anything else, that's what you asked for, you want to find out. All right, let's take a look at the snow in the trees here. Let you guys get a good sense of what is actually up here today. There is plenty of snow on the trees. Clearly it has not gotten so hot that anything has melted off at all. The trail is freshly groomed. It is hard and crunchy, make no mistake about it. The snow on the trail is not pleasant, but it is smooth, it is groomed, and the trees have loads of snow in them. So the rumors of it being 45 degrees and melting and raining so far are not barren true at all from what I can see. It looks pretty nice, and we're still at around 7,200 feet. So we got another 1,000 feet to go before we'll know for sure what the snow is like up on top. Exception.
Don't look at trees. Okay.
Okay, so we've signed the waiver. We're on the new sled. Let's see how this thing does in the trees. There we go. Oh, the snow is deep. Yeah, she leans over very, very easy. So I can absolutely immediately feel the difference in the width of the track. That is like so markedly different. Wow, so easy to lean this sled over. 32 inches. Yep. Even in this is some very crunchy snow world. I can feel the difference immediately. No doubt about it. Very easy to dance on this sled. There's our little 12-year-old buddy. This sled is so light compared to my turbo. This is significantly more agile. One, it's a shorter track, but it is the difference in the weight and the geometry. Very forgiving sled, turning wise. I can definitely take it tighter than my 165 with the turbo on it. Right into the trees. And after all, that's what an expert's for, right? Riding in the trees. All he asked me is to not hit a tree. Didn't say I couldn't go in and play a little. Got some scratches on it. Well, the biggest difference I feel by far, right off the bat, is how easy it is to turn. Precision maneuvers are significantly increased, or enhanced, I should say. Okay, love it. That's what 300 miles an hour already too. And I put 150 on that one before he got that one from me.
Okay. We'll jump on that real quick. Like I said, be careful though.
So today is definitely going to be a little different than our normal presentation. We started off with 8 of us. 3 or 4 more people have joined the crowd. We're all up here just playing with this 2026 Summit X Expert. And I have to admit, it's a nice sled. You know, I think some of you guys know the story. When the Summit X Experts came out a couple of years ago, I bought a brand new turbo Summit X Expert. And we rode it around for the first day, and to be perfectly honest, I hated the damn thing. I did not like the way it rode, or the way it turned, or was planted. It just felt so different than the T-Motion Summit X. And I sold the sled that night, and I went out and got another turbo Summit X. So Ski-Doo reached out to me and asked, would I like to go out and try this and compare and contrast. So we're up here on Black Canyon, just so you guys have a sense of where we are. Just turned off into a short little meadow. This little trail goes back maybe half a mile. And the snow is crusty right now. I want to be real straightforward with that. This is not ideal snow. If you can look over here, I'm going to turn this down. Can I get? You just can't see it. I can't turn this camera down deep enough. There's probably a ½ inch of crust where we are right now. I'm guessing we're around 7,500 feet. We're going to try to get up to 8,300 and see if we get rid of this crust. This is what I call drizzle crust. I don't think it rained, but I think we got a misting event where the mist probably fell for hours and hours and hours, and there's this thin layer of ice. The snow underneath it is great. The ice totally protected the snow underneath, but this is real crunchy, it's real crusty, and I had my first chance to hop on the 26 Expert, and I'll tell you what, man, the thing is a freaking weapon. Holy cow, that narrow front end and the new steering geometry. I have never been on a sled that is easier to ride in the trees. And again, that's what I like. I like trees that are sled width. I'm not trying to bash my handlebars or or destroy the sled, but I like to play in the trees. And this thing is so easy to turn. That narrow front end and the new steering geometry, it is wickedly simple to roll the sled over and turn left and right and bob and weave. And, everybody else here is going to take our turn. We're going to go up a little higher. I know a place where there's some large open side hilling, so we'll all get a chance to put this thing on edge and see how it behaves. And then eventually we'll make it up to the highest spot we can and see if we can find some good snow up there. But today is just a day to go out and have fun. We're getting a chance to play with a new toy. Not something I get to do very often, but the pirate guide smile on the pirate. And we got something to play with. We got a great group of people today. So we're just going to mosey along here and everybody's going to get a chance to play and we'll all have comments at the end. So we pulled off the canyon wall and we dropped down in this little canyon right off of Black Canyon Loop Trail. And we thought we'd take that 26 summit and we'd put it to the test. There's not a lot of places on this side of Island Park that work really well for side hilling, but this is one of the nicer ones. So we're each waiting our turn now to take that little baby and see if she can side hill and hold an edge like they advertise. All right, so we are down in a little canyon here. We're gonna take this expert and see if she performs in her native territory, in her native environment. She should be a side hilling monster. That's the whole point of having the expert. Let's see how she does. Such a nimble sled. Okay, so she climbs like a frickin' dream. No ands, ifs, or buts about that. The sled's got goat legs. Very, very happy going up and down. Oh, it's so light compared to my turbo. And the snow is still crunchy. It cuts right in though. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. She bites. Fun sled. Nimble really is the right word. Oh, the snow is just crunchy. Crunchy, crunchy snow. Lean into her harder than I did. Lots of people down in the canyon today. So these guys would likely all be heading down towards Thirsty Creek. Keep going down the canyon, you will end up eventually down in Thirsty Creek. Running down Black Canyon and just wanted to show you guys again the general snow conditions. And look just off the beaten path there, there's great snow. There's one of our stalwart companions. Not too tracked out everywhere. There's still plenty of places to go play. Probably got another 5 days or so without fresh snow, but even now, it's not trash. There's tracks. but it's not destroyed, which is nice for a bit of a surprise night. This little valley's beat up. All right, so we've been riding for a couple of hours now, pretty much the norm. And we're up on top of Black Canyon here. I would guess we're 8,100, maybe 8,200. We're not quite as high as you can possibly get on this side of Island Park, but we're close to it. As you see behind me, lots of fresh snow. It is beautiful. There's 1 to 2 inches of fresh on top of a thin 1/4 inch layer of ice. Crusty, kind of looks like what I would call a mist layer. I don't think it rained so much as it misted for probably several hours and built up a little bit of crust. And then underneath that, you know, feet and feet of beautiful snow. Today we've been doing something a little unusual. As you've seen in the clips before, Skidoo called me the other night and asked if I'd like to take their new 2026 Summit X with Expert out for a ride. And we've been riding. I think we've got 12 of us today. And everybody's had their chance to ride it. We've been riding on the flats, been riding in the trees, doing a little side hilling and hill climbing, and very much not the norm for what I do, but genuinely a lot of fun. Everybody, 100% of the people that have ridden the sled today have been so surprised at how nimble it is. Now, mind you, it's got a 32-inch front end with a new steering geometry that turns 30% tighter than it did before. So no surprise that we're all surprised. I think that's exactly what Dew was expecting, and Dew scored. This is just an amazingly nimble, agile, fun sled. But that's just what makes today unusual. What makes today normal is that there's gorgeous snow and we're out here riding. We're having a good time. Middle of the week, there's not a lot of traffic. Not a whole lot of people are out here. You know, we're well outside of the tourist, the guest season. And we're not even to spring yet. Spring is still coming. We're in this weird dry period right now. There's probably 5 to 7 days where we're not supposed to get any snow, but you know, we get a little up here. It doesn't show up in the forecast, but it's still not uncommon at all to come up here and find half an inch, an inch. Occasionally we'll find 2 inches. I mean, you can see that's clean, completely untouched, beautiful untracked snow back behind me. But spring sledding is coming. It's not going to be long now before, you know, the temperature gets in there. It's just around freezing and the skies clear up and there's bluebird skiing, and man, it'll be just beautiful, beautiful. Spring sledding in IP and in West Yellowstone was some of the best of the whole year because we don't have the bitter cold. You have a fabulous base now, and March typically delivers lots of snow. Contrary to popular belief, it does not turn to mashed potatoes. That comes in April and in May. And some people are, you know, willing enough to come up here in June even. I've only ridden till the middle of May. I've never pushed up here in June. But the best may yet be still to come. If you look at some of the charts that I post from time to time that show snowfall over the course of the year, you'll see that March is when we tend to stack up. So there will probably be a handful of really good productive storms still yet to come where there's going to be some fabulous skiing, or sledding, I should say. I use the terms interchangeably, I apologize. You know, the base we're on right now is probably a solid 90 inches underneath me, maybe a little bit more here and there, a little bit less in some places. But the snow is great. I mean, it's genuinely good, high quality snow. The trees are fun. It's a little bit crusty, but I mean, all things considered, so what? You know, you burn through the crust because the crust is really thin and there's fresh on top and there's fresh below. So the word for the day is don't lose hope, don't give up. Spring sledding is just around the corner, and spring sledding is probably going to be great. All things considered, this has not been a bad winter. We've had a fairly decent amount of snow. We're just a couple of percentage points below the 20-year average. I think we're at 97% of normal water depth snowpack as compared to the 20-year running average. So, I mean, all things considered, this is a pretty average, normal year. Those of you that have come out, I hope you had a good time. If you haven't, still consider. I would guess we've got 4 to 6 weeks of riding still left ahead of us, during which we'll probably get a couple of really spectacular storms and have some really wonderful sledding. I certainly enjoy it. I enjoy riding in December and January when it's cold and we get those crazy bitter cold snaps, but I like riding when it's 25 or 30 degrees. It doesn't bother me at all to be able to dress down and wear a few less layers and not have to worry about having cold hands on the way home at the end of the day. In my book, that's just fine. I don't mind that one little bit. It is a gorgeous day today. It truly is. Let me turn around and let you guys see some more. You can see some of the tracks from our little group that just went down there. just a bunch of puffy clouds. There's a little bit of blue sky here and there. If I turn this way, yeah, there you go. That's kind of what we see all spring. A mixture of blue skies, white clouds, a little bit of snow here and there. You know, there's probably a 2-mile-an-hour breeze right now. All things considered, it's pretty spectacular. Let me flip this camera for you. So as I flip the camera around and let you guys see these trees, get you a sense of just how much snow is up here to be found. The trees all around where I'm standing right now are all pretty heavy laden. There is no shortage of snow at all anywhere around here. And it's not hard, crunchy snow. The snow for the most part is actually pretty darn good. Again, there is that little layer, 1/4 inch of crust underneath the fresh, but the trees got lots of snow on them. There's plenty to go play in. Everybody that's been riding today has been having a big old time. My group is right there behind that tree, just hidden enough that you can't see all 12 of them. They're all over there just gawking at the new sled, having fun. But all in all, it's really been a beautiful day. And we still got a couple hours of good riding ahead of us. All right, we made it up to the top of Black Canyon. And once again, look at the trees. I say it a lot, but the trees don't lie. How does that snow look to you? Does it look like it's rained out? Does it look like it's all melted? Does it look like it's covered in ice? Because it does not look like it to me. Looks pretty decent up here to me, boys. We should be right around 8,000 feet-ish. Things are looking pretty darn good right now. That is some beautiful looking snow. Clearly there has been fresh, recent snow falling at the 8,000 foot level. A couple of visitors enjoying the view. Oh man, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? How do you ever beat this? Beautiful snow, good weather today. Good views, you know, probably upper 20s I would guess. And it's white everywhere you look. Always what we want to see. So it's about 5 p.m. now, and we are back off the mountain. And I gotta say, one of the nicest things about riding this time of the year is that we start getting more and more light as every day goes by. It is so nice to get down off the mountain, 4:35, 6, and it's still light outside. Today's ride was definitely a little bit odd. You know, I'm sitting here on this lovely 2026, you know, prototype. It's one of 2 as far as I know. There's only 2 of these functional sleds in the inventory right now. And Skidoo was kind enough to give me a call and ask if I'd like to ride it and if any of the people that come riding with me today would get a chance to ride it. So we ended up with 12 people. And we all went out and rode this thing and had a lot of fun. I have to admit, I mean, no BS. This thing rides very differently than any other sled I've ridden. Mind you, I don't have a lot of experience on cats. I don't have a lot of experience on poos. I've spent a lot of years on doos after I sold all of my Yamahas a few years back. But this was one of the most nimble, fun, easy to ride sleds in tight, controlled conditions. You know, the Expert is designed to play in trees. It's designed to play on the side of a hill. It's designed to go where you need more precision. And I did find this sled to be, you know, frankly, just a total freaking kick in the pants. I really had fun riding the sled. And my plan had been to sell one of my turbos. I have a match set of 2024 165 Turbo Summit X's, non-expert. And I wanted to buy an NA sled. There's days up here where there's just no reason to have a turbo, and there's days that there is. So I thought I'd end up with an unmatched set. At the end of the day, for me, at 62, With the turbo, I feel the weight. There's no doubt about it. The turbo sled has a lot of extra weight that the NA doesn't. So I was thinking I'd buy maybe a 154 NA. But I have to admit, I'm going to give some real thought to getting the expert. It was so much fun to drive, so much fun to ride in the trees, in the tight conditions. It was so easy to lay this sled over, and it turned so tightly. It was so easy to maneuver. It was just a fun sled. I had not expected it. I've ridden experts in the past. I did not like them at all. I like T-Motion. I like the Flex Edge track. I know that's not for everybody, but for this old guy, this old pirate, I love it. It works really well for me. I did not feel that the expert was a drawback, though. I felt it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's talk about snow today. We're coming up on March. We're not quite there yet. We've got about a week to go before March arrives, and that's officially the beginning of spring skiing. We had 1 to 2 inches of relatively fresh snow everywhere that we rode up on Black Canyon. Everywhere had that 1/4 inch of crust underneath that 1 to 2 inches. And then underneath the crust was feet of good snow. If we got into anywhere that was protected, so anywhere that was shady, anywhere that had trees around it, the crust vanished and we just had lovely snow. We could go and ride. But in the open meadows, no ands, ifs, or buts about it. You could feel that crust absolutely everywhere. It was soft enough underneath that the skis would still cut right through it and go deep, and I could feel the crust hitting my boots. If I leaned it over left or right, I could definitely feel the crust dragging across my toes constantly. So that crusty layer is probably not going to go anywhere. We're going to have it until it turns into mashed potatoes in another month. But as we move into March, we've probably got 4, maybe 5 days ahead of us that we're likely not going to have any snow at all. It's just going to be like this. It's going to warm up. Temperatures are supposed to get into the high 30s. And then there's a second cold front coming in from the Pacific, and it's going to cool off again. We'll drop back below freezing for our highs. And then there's a third storm. It's probably going to hit somewhere between the 3rd and 5th of March, and it will start snowing again. March frequently is the snowiest month of the year. So if you're considering coming out, don't lose hope. Hang in there. We've probably got several good spring snowstorms. Frequently, some of the very best rides of the entire year come during March. So just wanted to give you a little word of encouragement. Don't lose hope. Just because we have a week with no snow doesn't mean there's not lots more snow coming. You hear all the sleds in the background. Everybody's brapping away. They're all putting their sleds away. Once again, my name is Christopher. I'm from snowwest.com. I am your forum admin there. I am your friendly pirate guide here in Island Park in West Yellowstone. On the snow? Nope. On the mountain, in the snow, and we'll see you guys online. Bye-bye.